because you have to see this. Rightio. Okay, so welcome to this lesson. We're on page 616 of the HSE workbook, and it is a step up, of course, with regards to difficulty. They've given to us a very interesting start here, okay? And I want you to take notice of this because this has posed a challenge to many learners. They say here that they've given us a front view and auxiliary view, okay, of a right regular square prism and a, what does it say here? And cylinder, okay? Now just look at this here, front view and auxiliary view. How do I determine which is which here? Because what is confusing here is this XY that's at an angle. Do you agree with me? Like, what's going on here? Then they ask you to draw a front view and an auxiliary view plus a left view. So where in the world, what learners do, they now draw everything at an angle and they project here to the side a left view. Okay? Because you're unsure how to navigate this. So I'm going to help you understand this. The key here is this part here. What do you see is this? A cutting plane. A cutting plane will never be in auxiliary view. Okay? 'n snyvlak gaan nooit in 'n hulpaansig wees nie. So immediately if they say they've given us a front view and auxiliary view, look at the cutting plane and you know that's the front and that's auxiliary. Okay? That's the first part of this. But then, if you read further, it says the cylinder rests on the right regular square prism. So it's resting here on this corner. Both solids are cut by cutting plane AA, and we have to then also draw the left view and project the true shape of the surface. Now, the next thing you will have to know is if that's auxiliary view, that's the front view. How do we draw a front view? We have an XY running here. Do you agree with me? And where do I draw my left view? Well, I have another XY running here, and that's going to be my left view. And there's, of course, going to be the 45. Okay, so by my. Okay, so it's nothing different than you had previously drawn. All you have to make sure of is that you identify which one here is the front, which one is auxiliary view, and the key here is the cutting plane is always going to be the front view between those two. Okay, and then don't be confused with that XY because have you seen that before? It's just an XY between your auxiliary view and your front view. Okay, now look at what's given here. They say this diameter is 46 and then each side here is 52. This they haven't specified the angle, but you can see that angle is at 60 degrees and they've given you the various heights. So the first thing is to just draw what is given. Now to do that, I started myself off here. So the first one is just a circle with diameter 46. That was easy enough. The second part here is to draw the square around it. How do I do that? How do I draw a square around if each side of that square is 52? Well, the easiest way is to draw a circle which has a diameter of 52. Do you agree with me? Because now, if I now line my two triangles up, take that to the 45 there, and I flip that. Sorry, there we go. 60 degree. Yeah, 60 degrees, and I flip that. That gives me the center. So I have to get a line that's okay, let's just extend this one here. Okay, so we have to draw a line that's at that same angle there, right? Which this one and this one meets up. So if I take the 45 and the 15, this halfway around. There we have it. Nope, not yet. Ah, there we go. So the 45 plus that, 45 plus the 30 helps me to get that angle there. And now I can just draw a tangential line to that arc. Slide that for the bottom. So that took a bit of navigating. Okay, there we have it. Same on this side. Okay, so there is our auxiliary view. We have that circle was just for construction purposes. There's the cylinder, auxiliary view, and the square. Out of that, I now project my front view. Placing it on this one. All right. Let's start with the base here. 60 degrees. Flip that. There's the XY. This is a construction view for the auxiliary. Okay. And then that's the base. What's the height there of that base? 20. Okay, what's the height of the cylinder? 58. So from here, you're going to go up 58. And then here from the width, okay, so the struggle here is real to get a drawing started, and I think those of you who've experienced it can agree with me. Sometimes the start is just the most difficult. Once you have the start, you can be able to draw these drawings more successfully. Okay, there's the start. So before we can draw a left view, we have to position our XY axis. Draw that with a red so you can clearly see that. Then the left goes here. So X1 and a Y1. Okay. Alright, and then this XY is the one for the auxiliary view. We'll just draw that in. Okay. Alright. So let's do the left view first here. If I look from the left hand side, I'm going to see the base and I'm going to see the cylinder with this part as a surface that's available. When I have a circle, I divide that into 12 equal parts. Okay, so you can take your compass. Whenever you have a circle with these kind of drawings, you're always going to divide it 12 equal parts. So you just take that same radius. On the end there, we go chip, chip, each one of these all around. Here also, this one, this one, this one. And so there is my corners. Can start here outside with my 1, my 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here's the 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now I've seen some of you in class not even numbering. I can't draw without numbering. If you can, that's wonderful. But numbering is crucial. So here's the 1. Do you agree with me? All right. Each one of these go up, 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 up. And that in. Okay. So if I have my 1 here, now if I've gone in the auxiliary view clockwise, I'm going to go here anti-clockwise. 1, so 2 is at the back. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on the front, 10 on the front, 11 on the front, 12 on the front. Okay. Same for the base. Let's call this base here this corner A, B, C, and D, but it's got a top, which would this be A, but let's say A1 is at the bottom. B, it's there on the top, but at the bottom we have a B1. C at the top, C1 at the bottom. Directly behind the B we've got a D and a D1. So now I've numbered all the way around. Okay. Now if I do my left view, what do? I firstly project from the front view each one of these. And here you can do, there's actually two different solids here. You've got a cylinder and you have a right regular square prism. So do one at a time. Let's start with the one that's going to be firstly seen. If I look from the left hand side, I'm going to see this top here. And do the same with the bottom. We'll wait with the square prism. Ons wag net eers met die basis. Okay. Just do that part. Now I look from the left hand side. I'm going to see this surface fully. I'm going to see part of this wrapping around at the bottom. That will be behind. But where do I get the measurements? Do you hear? It's the same questions. So if I'm drawing here, then that is the first XY. You agree with me? I'm going to draw here. That's the first XY. Now I go to the front here. Where's the second XY? Not this main one. It's this one. The auxiliary view. Happy? Okay. For me to have used the 45 here, I needed a top view. I don't have a top view, so I don't even consider that on this drawing. But I can, from here, do two XYs back. 1, 2. And so now I go, and I'm going to take this distance. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. So from the 1 to the XY. Okay. And I'm going to follow that path to the 1, back to the 1. And I number this as 1. Right, the next, okay, so the 7 is on the same. So let me do the 7 so I don't readjust myself 100 times. There's a 7. Okay, do you agree with me that the base will have the same distance spacing? Okay? Below this one, directly below there's a bottom. I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to show you why not. Let's do the next one. The 2. So the 2 and the 6 are the same. So I follow that line. 2, 2. Make a dot. Make a dot. That's now my 2. This one is my 6. That was my 7. Right, next one here. The 3 and the 5. 3. The 5. And the 4. Okay, now we're going to go to the 8. 8 and the 12 is the same. Ten is the last one. Okay, if I have all of those, what I can do is I can just bring them down to its corresponding one, just construction lines. See the base taking shape? Okay, and it goes to the back also. Okay, now I ask myself, if I look from the left hand side, with my French curve. Sure. Anybody with a French curve? I've misplaced my, oh here it is. Okay. So if I look from the left hand side, I'm going to see that entire surface. So find a place that you can draw that on. Beautiful curve there. I'm going to flip that same part, use it on the other parts. Same on this one. Could be a lot neater, should be. Okay, and at the bottom, same. Flip that. Okay, this part here is going to be hidden detail, of course. And then this line is solid here. Okay, I'll go over it now to neaten it up. Alright, that's if I look from the left hand side, that's what I see. The base here, so now I bring this across, this A1 across. Maybe do another color for you to just see that. Okay. Where do I get these measurements? Again, 2 XYs, back. So it's the A, but also the A1. The B, and the B1. See. And then the last one is this close on D. Okay, and if I look from this side, I'm going to see this surface. Part of it will be behind. Nice and solid. This is behind. Hidden detail here. Okay. All right. Now the last part that I wanted to show you is that cutting plane. So I actually haven't drawn that in. This part is 10 away. And here it is 10 away as well. So it rests like this here. AA. That's the cutting plane. So what are they asking? They're just asking the true shape. So there's the cutting plane. For me to see the true shape here, what needs to be true? I need to look at it at a 90-degree angle. So you're going to use your 45-degree triangle. I'm going to zoom out for you to see the whole page. So I'm going to place my triangle at that 45 degrees on that XY cutting plane, and I'm going to project. Okay, line it up, parallel, drawing a parallel line here. Slide this and add an XY. Okay, I'm going to mark it now. What do? Keep this hand, flip it. And out of each one of these corners where it cuts through my solid construction line, this red line is a construction line. construction line. Okay, now each one of these corners, or well, not corners, well, points on that circle, those 12 points, each one gets a projection. Okay, this is the XY. Y. Okay, what's the question? Where do I get the measurements? What's the answer? 2 XYs back. Okay, and so if I'm going to draw here, I'm going to go once this over this XY to my front view and back over my auxiliary view. And so now you have to really keep your head. So the first one, that is number 1. There it is. Okay, with me. Follow that 1. There it is. Let's just do the cylinder first. Make a dot. Next one is the 2. Alright, there's the 2. Follow that line. You have to keep your mind here. Make a dot. That's going to be the same for the 6. So while I've got the measurement the same, I'm going to follow. Just doing one line at a time. I'm not stressed. No anxiety, no fear. I know my steps. I know it because I've drawn these drawings. Okay? And so should you. You should be able to draw these drawings, people. Over and over and over. There's no shortcut. Ek kan eerlikwaar vir jou sê, daar's nie 'n ander manier nie. As jy enige ander plan het om hierdie tekeninge baas te raak, vertel vir my, maar ek twyfel. No other way. If you don't draw, no way you're going to draw this under pressure. No way. Kan vergeet daarvan. Ons uit. Okay, there was one that I missed. 7. Oh, there's a 7. I didn't bring that line up. It's outer one. Okay, so what do I have here? Is there any shortcut? People, any shortcut? Anybody knows a shortcut that I missed? Enigiemand wat 'n shortcut ken? No. Oh yes. It's no shortcut. It's drawing. No other way of doing these drawings but taking your time, bunking down and getting it done. Okay, what do we do after I've joined the dots? Wat doen ek na ek hierdie... Help me gou. What do I do? Against that XY, 45 degrees. This is a cutting section, true shape. 45 grade. Evenly spaced. So the only difference between this one and previous drawings where you had hexagons and octagons with 6 or 8 corners, now you have 12. Only difference. Alright, what about this last part here? Well, where do I get the measurements? 2 XY's back. Okay, so now I follow that same point. On the A, make a mark. Next one. Okay, so it's this point, and that point are the 3 that I have to copy. Do you understand why? The first one was just on that edge. There's no other point there. But look at the next one. There's 2 points there. So if I come down, it's this one. Bring it back, up. Make a dot. That was this one. Now that one. Same thing. Back, up. And I join them. After I join them, what do? Hatchet. Can I do it the same direction as this one? No, because it's two different solids. So I change my direction on this. XY and then 45. Yours might look slightly different because, you know, our accuracy will differ. But it should be similar in shape. So there's the true shape of that cut surface. If I zoom out, I'll just summarize for you again. Alright, so let's look at where the measurements went. Okay, so there was my front view, auxiliary view. Numbered this correctly, 1 to 12, projected that up to get the diameter there and the height they gave me. Then I look from the left hand side, this surface here. If I look from the left hand side, that whole surface is visible, and that is this surface here. Okay. I also see this surface here at the bottom. Okay, this surface here that runs here, sorry. Okay, that part's behind, so I'm not drawing that. Okay, all right. And then if I want a true shape, I have to look at it at a 90-degree angle. And so for that reason, I use my 45. Flip that to get this lines. Where do I get the measurements? 2 XYs back. So you constantly have to answer the same questions over and over to get this drawing right. It took me 30 minutes. And it shouldn't take you more than 45. Right, thank you for watching. Now it's your turn.